All right, the next guy we got, man, you will know him if you watch the draft. If you don't, what are you doing? But Daniel Jeremiah, I've known this guy for a long time. I was saying move the sticks on Thursday Night Football when before move the sticks was even really, really cool. Now he's, a superstar, but an awesome human being. Those Dodgers. Wow. The Padres tickets a few years ago from Dad were the best seats in the house. That was so dope. It was ridiculous. That's all my son wanted to do was go to a Padres game and go to San Diego for his 12th birthday. DJ, Daniel Jeremiah made it happen. Appreciate you joining us, big dog.
No, great to be with you, man. It's great to be with both you guys. The invitation's always open anytime you want to come back. Anybody that wants to come check out the Padres, I'm always there to help in that regard, man. It's a great ballpark. You can't beat it.
It's my favorite. It's my favorite. Our family's been to 20-something of the ballparks.
Oh, jeez.
And it's kind of a thing we do. And it is utterly my favorite. So since we're talking Padres, us Georgia guys, we want to know, he might not care, Dave, that is.
Yeah. Profar?
Profar. Are we going to enjoy watching Profar every day?
Yeah, it's interesting. He's always done way better for the Padres than he has in his other stops that he's had. But he takes a professional at bat each and every time. He's got a really good eye. He gets on base. He was kind of like our emotional guy. Like we got in a couple dust ups last year, and he's always kind of in the middle of it. Dodgers hated him, which made us love him as a Padre fan. So yeah, he's a pro. I hope you get the Padre version and not like the Rocky version. If you get the Rocky version, then disregard everything that I just said.
I don't even know who you're talking about. I don't care who you're talking about because I don't care about baseball. But you two guys could go on for a while.
How do you not like it at all? I mean, especially growing up where you grew up, man.
Obviously, we had some good times. And I used to tell everybody my phone number growing up. I would always be like 770-985 Michael Jordan, Greg Olson. So like we were Braves fans. Like
nice.
we definitely had it in us. But dude, you just spent how many hours at the combines and watching
21 hours of live TV over
21 hours.
Yeah.
Okay, sweet. Well, 21 hours worth of live television. What was the big takeaways, man? Like, first, before you get there, the big takeaways, because you're going to talk about that a lot. Like, when you go into this process and you've scouted for so many years and you know football, like, what does the combine mean to you? What are you looking for? Like, besides the guys running in uncomfortable outfits that get more uncomfortable every single year, like, what are you looking forward to seeing?
Well, I mean, first of all, just seeing guys in person, I always think there's more value with some areas and some positions than others. I don't know that the offensive line, it's always good to just kind of get the measurements because you don't know, what a guy, you might have 6'6" on him and he's really 6'3" and change, so getting like the legit measurements there. But really, to me, like how the corners run and how the corners move, seeing that live and in person, because, college-wise, you could have a team, and not to get in the weeds, but, I mean, you play, if you're a quarters team and I'm not going to see this guy get up, I'm not going to see him press, I'm not going to see him open up. And I don't know if he can really run. He might not have seen any NFL receivers all year long that matched up with him that stressed him vertically. So like the corner position matters a ton with the combine. Quarterbacks, I always like seeing them throw live. I think it's better than just watching it on tape. You get a feel for it when you're in the building and can see it. So some of those things. And then, seeing buddies around the league and maybe finding out some nuances about the person more so than what the player is. I think there's a lot of value there.
So who won? Who were your guys that you're watching there? Obviously, you had a few sort of physical super freaks, I think, with Stewart and Imamori. Who else were that you watched and you're like, okay, this guy totally blew me away?
There's always guys that confirm what you saw, and then there's guys that are like, oh man, I'll probably go double up and watch some more on this dude, make sure that I'm, I need more conviction here, so I'm going to have to go back to the tape and have that tape provide the conviction. But I like the two Longhorns going into the process. Matthew Golden, the receiver, I was high on him, and I was funny because a lot of buddies in the league were like, yeah, I don't know if he can run. I'm like, dude, this guy can run. I promise you this guy can run. And he ran 4.29. It was like the fastest receiver there. So that was check the box. And then Jahdae Barron, who has played all over for them, who I think is going to just, he's best as a nickel. But there was the same question. I was like, I don't know if he can run. And I think he ran 4.39. So you've got great tape, great ball production. He's tough. He doesn't miss tackles. Just a really good player. And that was kind of the knock or the question, I guess, with some folks was the speed. And he answered it. So those are two that like just right off the top of my head. But Eamon Wari's I knew he was a freak show, and I think everybody kind of universally knew that he was a freak show. So as incredible as it was, like I think that was expected going into the process.
Well, what about these quarterbacks? Because we always talk about the quarterbacks and just, some throwing, some don't, so you don't get to get your eyes on it. And listen, I understand why a quarterback doesn't throw. Like throwing to new guys in a new place, like it's different. You don't know how fast they run. You don't. I mean, there's so much nuance in quarterback and so much timing. And there's a reason Peyton spent always so much time with his buddies and brought them in and didn't throw with other people as much as possible. So what do we learn about the quarterbacks that aren't that really highly rated compared to a lot of other classes?
Yeah, to the first part of it, Dave, like the people that are railing on him, for not throwing the top guys. The top guys haven't thrown at this thing in a decade for the most part. We've had a couple. CJ Stroud actually did, and it was probably the best throwing session that I've ever seen there, just in terms of, make every throw on balance, can drive it, could layer it, can float it, like every kind of throw you want to make, he made. But those are rare to have a session like that kind of, knocks your socks off. This year, we didn't have the top guys throw. I thought, there was some good. I thought Jackson Dart, just seeing him live, he had a little bit more. We saw it at the Senior Bowl and then seeing it here. So the more I see him live, the more I appreciate that he can power the ball a little bit more than maybe I thought off of the tape. Tyler Shuck is big, strong, physical guy, but you got to have he's going to be 26 years old. So you're going to have that debate on the age and the durability and all that stuff. But those two guys, I thought the way they spun it and threw it were probably best in show from that group.
Do you think QB1 and QB2 is closer, or is that gap between QB1 and QB2 maybe wider than many think?
I have it. I mean, I have Cam about 5 spots over Shedeur. So I have, there's a little bit of distance there with those two guys. I think when you talk to people around the league, and I always laugh about this because I've had this question before, and my answer is, well, if I've talked to 30 teams and 30 of them feel like there's this huge gap, but there's one team out there who doesn't see there as a gap, and then they get picked and they go, gosh, well, you got some terrible information, man. Like, obviously these guys are right next to each other. I'm like, you can't canvass 32 teams and know it only takes one. You don't have to get 32 teams to fall in love with you. You only need one. So I think it's hard to handicap, where Shedeur is going to go. I feel pretty confident at this point in the process, Cam is going to be the first quarterback that's picked. And then it's just a matter of, where Shedeur ends up landing up in the process.